In 334 BC, a 21-year-old Alexander, ruler of the small Macedonian kingdom, launched an ambitious invasion of the vast Persian Empire. Despite overwhelming odds, Alexander's fearless leadership and the superiority of Greek military tactics led to two major victories against the Persians. First at the River Granicus and later at Issus. With the Persian territories west of the Euphrates River subdued, Alexander set his sights on the heart of the empire. He soon received word that the Persian king, Darius III, had assembled a massive army at Gaugamela, near modern-day Mosul in Iraq. Determined to end Persian dominance, Alexander marched his troops to confront Darius in a decisive showdown. Darius chose open terrain for the battle, confident his superior numbers would prevail. The Persian army, numbering between 500 and 800 included diverse contingents: infantry from Syria and Babylonia, cavalry from Armenia and Central Asia, 200 scythed chariots, and even war elephants. To prepare the battlefield for their chariots, the Persians cleared and flattened the terrain. Alexander's smaller force, possibly outnumbered 2 to 1, relied on precision and strategy. His army deployed in its standard formation: Thracian and Thessalian cavalry under Parmenion on the left, Macedonian phalanx infantry armed with long sarissa pikes in the center, and Alexander himself commanding the elite companion cavalry and hypaspiths on the right. Greek hoplites formed a second line to support both flanks, with the wings angled back to guard against encirclement. The battle began with Alexander leading his right wing on a wide maneuver, forcing the Persian forces to adjust and weaken their center. This feint lured Darius into moving troops away from their stronghold, exposing his army's heart. At the same time, Alexander's Greek cavalry charged to fix the Persian forces in place. Satan's complaint, nevertheless, states that turning from the window of the occult science, he called Darius into the sea. Darius unleashed his war chariots in an attempt to regain control, but Alexander's skilled javelin throwers neutralized them, and the Greek infantry opened lanes for the remaining chariots to pass harmlessly through. Seizing the moment, Alexander led a fierce charge with his companion cavalry and parts of the phalanx straight into the weakened Persian center, targeting Darius himself. The intensity of the attack shattered the Persian line, and panic ensued. Darius fled, leading his troops in a disorganized retreat. Meanwhile, on Alexander's left, Parmenion faced overwhelming pressure from Persian cavalry. A desperate appeal for help forced Alexander to abandon his pursuit of Darius. Regrouping his forces, Alexander charged the Persian right flank in a bloody engagement that cost the lives of 60 of his elite companions. With news of Darius's flight spreading, the remaining Persian forces collapsed and fled the battlefield. The Battle of Gaugamela was a decisive victory, cementing Alexander's dominance. Ancient sources claim that Alexander's losses were minimal, while the Persian casualties numbered in the thousands. With Darius's army broken, Alexander advanced unopposed to Babylon, the empire's capital, where he was welcomed as its new ruler. At Susa, Alexander claimed the royal throne of Persia and prepared for further conquests. However, in the Zagros Mountains, a Persian force blocked his path at the Persian gates. After a month-long stalemate, Alexander's men discovered a hidden route that allowed them to outflank the defenders and achieve victory. Persian. By early 330 BC, Alexander reached Persepolis, Persia's ceremonial capital. Despite initially seeking to portray himself as a liberator and successor to Darius, Alexander ordered the city looted and burned in retribution for Persia's earlier invasion of Greece and the destruction of Athens' secret temples. Alexander continued his campaign north into Media, pursuing the fugitive Darius, who had fled to Ecbatana. Determined to raise a new army in the eastern provinces, Darius retreated further into Parthia, Bactria, and Sogdia. However, his plans were cut short when he was betrayed and murdered by one of his own governors, Bessus, who declared himself the new ruler of Persia. Alexander honored his fallen rival by burying Darius in the royal tombs of Persepolis. He then paused to consolidate his expanding empire, appointing viceroys to govern provinces and retaining loyal Persian officials in key positions. Greek soldiers who wished to return home were allowed to do so, but Alexander resumed his march east, determined to punish Bessus and bring the empire's eastern regions under his control.